What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Leg Game, episode 169, the first episode of the new year, which we agreed upon doing last week on this very day. Happy New Year's to everyone. Happy 2025. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming out. We hope 2025 brings you great happiness and great prosperity. I'm your co-host and retired Hall of Fame fantasy football owner, Marcus.
I'm the GOAT.
The GOAT.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Really?
Yeah, undisputed.
Undisputed?
Next up, we got Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey, and I am the
You
true.
are a hater.
I'm the true fantasy champion this week. Thank you very much.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You.
And last but not least, we got Mark.
Congratulations to Vince for winning the original championship.
Vince won?
Yeah, Vince won.
Who did he play?
I don't know. It wasn't us, so it don't matter.
Right. Yeah. Oh, he played Steeler Nation. That was one of my old coworkers. That's what he played. Yeah.
And last but not least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Happy New Year, and congratulations to both Vince and Herman for winning the championships.
Thank you.
And me, I'm 56 years old. Damn! I'm sorry.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're on Twitter /X at The Live Game 3. On Instagram at the official Delay of Game. You can also catch us broadcasting simultaneously on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So go on over there and check them out. They dabble in everything: football, basketball, MMA, wrestling. They do it all. So go over and check out the Big Blue Crew Sports Network over on their YouTube channel. Mark? Mark is hosting tonight, Mark. So go ahead and start us off, Mark.
Thank you, Marcus. We're going to review some NFL news first. We'll get into some hot topics. We're going to review our picks from last game, previous week. Then we're going to pick this week's game, and then we're going to end the whole show with our final thoughts. Now with the news story, I'll give it back to you, Marcus. What's our first news story?
Thank you, Mark. Viewers from 218 countries and territories around the world tuned to Netflix on December 25th as the Kansas City Chiefs Pittsburgh Steelers drew 30 million global AMA. I should look that up because I don't know what that means. And the Baltimore Ravens Houston Texans attracted 31.3 million global AMA. Both games dominated Netflix on December 25th, making it Netflix's most watched Christmas Day ever in the U.S. The two games averaged 26.5 million U.S. viewers, according to the Nielsen Big Data Plus panel. The games ranked number 1 Ravens Texans and number 2 Chiefs Steelers on Netflix's global top 10 for the week and hit the top 10 across multiple countries. Chiefs Steelers was in the daily top 20 in 72 countries and saw high viewership in Canada, Germany, Ireland, and the UK, while Raven Texas was the daily top 10 in 62 countries and hit strides in Australia, Austria, and Mexico, among others. As previously announced, Christmas was a record-breaking day for Netflix and the NFL with an unduplicated audience of nearly 65 million U.S. viewers, according to Nielsen.
So AMA stands for average minute audience.
Okay. And that's so damn funny?
Great story. That was a beautiful long story. That's all.
I know you long when the Bama's ain't talking.
Yeah, but what we talk about is interesting.
How am I interested about football?
Who cares?
I'll say
next news story, please.
I was impressed that Netflix didn't freeze, though. You got to give me.
I was too. Hey,
I was too.
Hey,
hands off for that one. Right.
Thank you for that one.
Congratulations.
The Cleveland Browns' push to move out of the city and play in a proposed dome stadium has encountered a new roadblock. Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb sent a letter to owners Dee and Jimmy Haslett saying the city intends to invoke the Modell Law to prevent them from leaving the Browns' current lakefront stadium. The lease expires in 2028. Bibb wants a response from the Browns by January 9th, and if the team doesn't comply, the city will, quote, take appropriate legal action, the letter states. The Modell Law was passed in 1996 after former Browns owner Art Modell moved the franchise to Baltimore. It states that no owner of a professional sports team in Ohio playing in a tax-supported stadium can go elsewhere without an agreement with the city in which it plays, unless the city is given 6 months advance notice with an opportunity to buy the team. The team previously filed a federal lawsuit in hopes of getting clarity on the law. The case is pending. In response to Bibb's letter, the Browns said the stadium and the city's actions create uncertainty and do not serve the interest of Greater Cleveland. The city's threat to use the Modell Law is just the latest maneuver in what has become an ugly back and forth with the Browns. That's
Wow.
Yeah, they was really mad about him leaving the city.
I mean, you would be. That was a lot of money, that revenue that they lost when
they did. This is going to be interesting.
How come Maryland or Baltimore didn't do a Baltimore law when
I don't know, but Maryland wasn't happy either. Maryland was not happy.
Maryland wasn't happy, but that's why they snuck and did that mess in the middle of the night, right?
All right, Brian, give us the next news story, please.
All right. The Cowboys released running back Ezekiel Elliott on Tuesday, ending his stint with the Cowboys for the Dallas the last 15 games. Elliott requested his release, and the Cowboys honored it, as Elliott will now be subject to waivers in hopes of landing with a playoff contender for the remainder of the season. Cowboys owner Jerry and general manager Jerry Jones released the following statement of Elliott. Out of respect and appreciation for Zeke and wanting to provide him with an opportunity to pursue any potential playoff participation possible, we are releasing him from the Cowboys roster today. As I've said many times previously, Zeke's impact as one of our greatest to ever play with the star on the helmet will never change and is etched in our record books and our history forever. We thank him, love him, and wish him the absolute best. In 2024, through 15 games, Elliott tallied 74 carries for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's going to be a hot commodity for a playoff team. Not.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, look at the playoff teams. Who's signing them? Whatever.
Because all the playoff teams already got running backs that they picked up from other teams that are doing well for them. So.
Exactly. I don't get that statement either. I mean,
I think it's just a nice way to let him go.
But yeah, Zeke's been good for the Cowboys. He was good, but like one of the greatest.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for the first couple of years,
Yeah, short-lived.
Yeah, it was short.
Like 2 years, but to say, when you just think about some of the greatest Cowboys players to ever play, for you to put Zeke in that category, it wasn't nowhere near as long as it needed to be to even put in.
He's not going in the star. He's not going.
Hell no, he's not going in the Ring of Honor. Hell no.
No, we're not doing a Sean Taylor.
You know what? You know what? That's some blasphemous ass ish right there. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ooh.
That's some blasphemous ass ish right there. I hope this video goes viral.
Too early.
Hey, Commanders fans, track your
ass. Too early and way below the belt, Brian. Way below the belt.
Man. Yeah.
That should be a hot topic.
The last news story I got: the Philadelphia Eagles running back Saquon Barkley will not go for History Sunday against the New York Giants for the regular season finale. Head coach Nick Sirianni told reporters Wednesday, "We're going to rest some guys," said Sirianni, before later adding Barkley will probably be somebody who rests. We asked the following follow-up questions with Barkley. Regular season finish. He will end his first season with the Eagles 101 yards behind Eric Dickerson for the NFL single rushing record of 2,105 yards, a mark that was set in 1984. So that is the end of our news.
Well, that's the news. And thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for cutting it short.
Thank you. I knew that was coming though.
Yeah.
So we're getting into our hot topics, which leads us straight back to the Saquon Barkley stories with the Eagles. Should Saquon and the Eagles go for Eric Dickerson's single season rushing record, 2,105 yards, an exclusive mark that has so far stood for the last 40 seasons? Marcus, I'll let you go first. Should they went for it?
I'm going to say yes with some caveats. The caveat being, you got treat it like a preseason game. Excuse me. You got a quarter. You got a quarter and a half to get it. It's the Giants. They're terrible. They suck. If you can't get it in a quarter and a half, then you don't get it. We just sit you down for the rest of the game. I think it's a shame that he doesn't get that he's not going to be able to go for a record. I think they should at least let him try. But also but on the New York Giants side, if I was the New York Giants, there's no way in hell. I would play a way that you could throw 10 touchdown passes on me, but you will not get one single rushing yard on this field today. It'd be 10 in the box every damn play, and you just light me up in the sky. There's no way you would get those rushing yards on me. But we found out today he doesn't have to worry about it. But I think he should go for it. If he doesn't hit it, if there's no telling when it might be broken. Records are meant to be broken. And like I said, just treat it like a preseason game. Give him a quarter and a half. It's the Giants. You can probably get it. You only need 101. You could probably against the Giants. You could probably knock that out in the first quarter. So I think they should go for it.
Brian?
No, we shouldn't have gone for it. There are a lot of things going on. You're dealing with a running back that did last the whole season, which is not his normal forte. So why you would tempt fate to try to get a personal record when you have a chance to win a Super Bowl is ridiculous. Number two, the record is tainted because he wouldn't be doing it in the same amount of games that what's his name did it.
Eric Dickerson did it.
Eric Dickerson.
That's a bad because in that case, O.J. Simpson is still a record holder. Then
he should be. He should be. If you ain't doing the same amount of games, I don't want to hear it. It took you more games to do the same thing that man did. So the record is tainted. And number three, we knew he wasn't going to go for it because earlier in the season, he had a chance to do some type of record. And the coach sat him down and had a conversation with him and told him he's not going to let him try to get that record. So no. You play football to win championships, not for personal gain. So no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of. The fan in me would say yes. Let's go for it. Let's get it because it's a mark that.
So he gets it and he tears his Achilles.
But if I was a fan, as an Eagles fan, my biggest goal is to go further in this playoff and make it to a championship. So with that said, no, I would not want him to go for the record based on that. If I was an Eagles fan, for sure. But you're right about the games, the amount of games that they played earlier, and O.J. Simpson got it. Even Earl, one time Peyton got it, the rushing yards title at one time. But now you got 17 games, so yeah, it's a little bit more. But I have to agree. I think they should set him. They shouldn't allow him to go and play. Herman, what you think?
So I think the Eagles missed their opportunity actually to get him the title, and I say that because he went over 2,005 yards against Dallas last week, and I think he got that early in the third quarter. In my opinion, they should have tried to let him rush for about 50 more yards. Then he could have came into this Giants game, rushed for 51, 52 yards, and he would be out probably less, minimizing
first quarter.
First quarter, minimizing any chance of him, probably getting hurt. As for what Brian said, you play football to win championships, not to get personal records. Then why are we keeping personal records? What's the point in keeping those records if they're not trying to get these records? So I'll say that to that, and I'll also say you say that the record is tainted. Then you let Saquon set the record for 17 game season and see what he gets. That's the new record. I mean, it's going to be 18 games soon. Anyway, it may be. So, in my opinion, they blew their opportunity to give him that chance. Now, should they do it this week? No, they probably shouldn't, because like Brian said, he has been hurt in the past, and you want to preserve him for the playoffs. Even though I will say this, even though the Eagles are a better team with him, it's not like they haven't been there before without him either. So losing him
But
would
remember,
be,
they're talking about him being an MVP this year. So obviously he's doing much more than what they've done before.
they're barely talking about him being an MVP, but that's
They didn't talk about any of the other Eagles running backs ever being an MVP.
No, they hadn't. But that's not. But the Eagles are right back in the playoffs where they were last year. I mean,
right. But you said that he may not. They didn't make him no better. He had to.
No, I didn't say he didn't make them better. I said that they've been there without him in the playoffs. I didn't say it didn't make them better.
But it sounds like you're implying that they don't really need him.
No, that's not what I'm implying. What I'm implying.
No, he said the facts. They made it before without him.
Right, and they've gone further. They've gone far without him too. So I'm just
I don't understand what the statement did. So did the statement mean that they don't need him or they do need him?
The statement is that risking him
is worth it.
It's worth it. It is, because they can function without it. But again, they blew the opportunity to lessen any possible injury by pulling him out of the Cowboys game. They should have let him get 50 more yards. He would have been halfway there, and that little 50 against the Giants would have done been anything. But as for this week, at this point, no, you might as well just sit him down and go ahead and let him go ahead and have him for the playoffs and be successful that way. But should they have? I think the Eagles should have managed this better to get him the record, and then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So that's where I stand on it. No, they shouldn't try to get it this week, but they should have tried better to get him the record when it was showing that he was on pace for it. They could have worked it out so that he got it. They probably could have did it so he got it last week, honestly. That's an interesting fact. 17 games.
17.
BS. He's got 40 less carries.
So.
But I did hear another argument against it. I think he has and I may be wrong, but it's definitely true. I'm not exactly sure about the number. I think he has at least 50 more carries than the next running back has carries this season. So that going in with Brian's thing about injury prone, he has a lot of carries. He already has a lot of carries this season.
Yeah, he does.
But I still like to say, this is Giants. Give him a quarter and a half. You can do that much. Give him a quarter.
I wish they would let him do it, because I already know what's going to happen.
They can stick him in there for like the first half.
I'd love for him to get the rushing title.
Well, I think the bigger question is, did they let him down by not managing
Herman, they let him down earlier in the season when he could have got a rushing some type of record, and they chose.
It wasn't Serrano that shut it down.
It was.
No, Barkley shut him down. Serrano asked him, "Hey, do you
went over there and talked to Barkley and explained to him why he was sitting him down?"
That's not what I saw.
Yeah, it's absolutely what happened.
What was the record?
Go back and look. No.
I saw he was asking, did he want to go for it? And Barkley was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, he wanted
what
to
was
play.
That record?
I can't remember.
I think it was touchdowns in the game. I
remember Sirianni had went over to him and was sitting down beside him after they made the decision.
I saw the same thing. I could have swore he said it's up to you, and Barkley was the one that turned it down.
No.
Wasn't it like one of the most the rushing yards in the game or something for
that's what I kind of recall, but I can't tell you exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next hot topic. The next one we have, no matter the result of the Vikings versus the Lions game on Sunday night, a 14-3 team, which will have a better record than at least 2 division winners, and all the wild card teams will have to travel to play their playoff games should the seeding change so that a division winner still makes the playoffs, but then the seeding is by the record so that the 14-3 team gets seeded higher and gets the home game and the wild card round. I'll let you start this one off, Brian. What you think about it?
I think they should leave it just like it is. It's just the luck of the draw. I mean, you have teams in there that are 7-9 and win their division and are in the playoffs and probably shouldn't be there, but I like it the way it is. I don't think you should change it.
You know what, Brian? I think that's why I like you.
Yeah,
I kind of said the same thing. Is that they set this up for if you win the division automatically gets the home field advantage. In that in that particular thing, I like the way it's set up. You look around other leagues, they don't quite really do it that way too much. They go by the records. I like the way they have it. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. I like the way it is. Let it roll with it. Let's go. Herman?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. You win your division, you have to get something for winning your division. Like, that's the whole purpose of these divisional games. And we see how important these divisional games are, because now all you play is divisional people towards the end of the season, hoping that you're going to be deciding the division winners. So to say, okay, yeah, you get to go to the playoffs, but you're not going to get a home game, that's not really an award or reward for winning your division. And then you got some division winners, look how the Patriots they won their division forever because there was really no competition in their division. It was almost winning their division by default. You know what I mean? So,
but that wasn't their fault. That was the other teams in their division's fault.
Right. And it's not my fault if I win my division with a lower record than somebody else, because my division's tougher than that division. You know what I mean? So that's why, as a division winner, you should always get that one home game. And those teams that are 14-3 or whatever have higher records and got to go on the road. If you're as good as your record says you are, shouldn't matter if you go play one of these 7-10 division winners that shouldn't really be there or whatever, because you're supposed to be the better team. Go beat them in their home and keep it moving. So yeah, I think that they should just leave it the same way that it is.
Yeah, the one last thing I want to say about it is the NFL made a decision on scheduling about 3 years ago when they started making the division games at the end. That was a smart move.
It's worked out for them because you've had games that mean a lot more.
I mean, it's the Vikings game this weekend. I mean, that thing is huge. Yeah, everybody wants to see that game.
Yeah.
Marcus, what you think?
I'm going to disagree with all three of you and say yes, they should reseed it.
I knew he was going to do that.
Well, somebody got to give it different. We can't all be on the same page. It makes a boring show. Okay. Somebody got to disagree. Shit.
Whoa, language.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're cursing now. The hell?
I mean, so I understand everything you guys are saying, but you know how hard it is to win 14 games in a season. And it didn't really hit me until I kept hearing, everything about the Commanders. Oh, they haven't won 11 games in the season since 1991. I was like, damn, 11 games, really? So it's very hard to win 14 games in a season. And this team that you got to go to their stadium and play a playoff game, chances are you might have already met them in the regular season to beat the hell out of them. And now you got to go back to they should be the ones coming to your stadium to play you. You got a better record. And I understand the thing about, what's the point of winning Division 12 if you don't get a home game? Win it with big numbers. Win it with big numbers. Don't just slide in at 9-7 and think you're supposed to go to you're supposed to get a home game.
10-7, 17 games.
Well, 9-8.
I messed you up, Marcus. I said 9. I said 7-8 or something, so I did mess it up.
So it's 9-8, and you should have to go to Detroit or Minnesota and play that game. It's just I after hearing about, I like the way it's sort of like the NBA is seated like that, and maybe some other leagues, but it just makes sense to me that being a 14-3 team, you should at least get a home game instead of having to go. You do
realize that you make the division mute.
Yeah, there would be no point in having a division.
There's no need in having division games. You just have an NFC and an AFC, and y'all just play the games, and you don't play a team twice. All that stuff, these rivalries and things go away.
No, they don't.
They do.
Why don't
division games don't mean anything?
They don't mean
they don't mean as much. Because I can take a team. I can take. I
don't agree. Your division games, more than likely, you're going to win that division. You're going to win your division.
Okay.
I mean, look at the years that Dallas has won the NFC East. we've been like 5-1 or 6-0 in the division.
But 12-5 overall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good ass record.
What?
That's a good ass
That's
record.
because we're a good team, though. But you have
Okay.
other teams. You have other teams where their divisions are closer. Like you're like the Washington and the Giants have been in the gutter of our division. So having that record is going to be easier. Next year, I guarantee you, it's not going to be. It probably won't be two teams in the NFC East with double-digit wins. I bet we could have a division similar to the South, but we'll be good. Because it's only going to be one team that's going to be probably at the bottom, and that's the Giants.
And there's no guarantee because look what Washington did this year.
That's true too.
The Giants
That's
could draft
true,
their
too.
Jaden Daniels this year and next year and do the same thing.
And remind you, I predicted that on the show. Thank you.
What'd you predict?
very much. That
What'd
you
you
all will be getting in the playoffs this year.
I did too.
You also predicted the Steelers were going to win the division. So
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't have go back and look. I didn't have
Can they
I
can they not win it now?
playoff. I had Cincinnati winning our division. Thank you very much.
Okay, so how'd that go for you?
Not good right now, but
Thank you. So
See, I like what
don't pick the good stuff, pick it all.
I like what Mac, the Giants fan, says. I think when your division only guarantee you a playoff spot, not a home game. I agree with that. It just shouldn't be a 14-3 team and have to go on the road for a wild card game.
How often has this happened?
I can't say, but it should never happen.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen that much.
Well, it happened. It's happening this year, so it should
So
never.
what if you have two teams? Because you have more than one team coming out of division sometimes.
Yeah, we got
if you
three
had
come out
two-
of the North. This
I know we've had two teams coming out of division with lesser records than.
Yeah, and that wouldn't work either way. You if they're so who gets kicked out then? If you have like let's say like right now in the North, you got Minnesota, you got Green Bay, and you would have the
Detroit.
Lions come all in the playoffs because they were going to have better records than probably most of the teams in the South. So was the South get kicked out and don't get to play a game?
No, they get to play a game. They just might not get a home game.
you
There's
can
no
still-
point
Tampa, Tampa Bay might not get a home game.
You're gonna still be in the same situation.
Look,
then.
see,
Yeah.
you're trying to set it up like the NBA with basketball, right? But the thing is that their series are 3 and 4 and 5 and 7 game series, so you get some home games. This is one and done. This is the NFL. If I fight to win my division, I've done what I'm supposed to do so that I get a home game. That's the
Winning your
reward
division means
for
you
winning
should
the
get a playoff
division.
spot.
No, that's your reward for winning the division. You should get a home game because you only get one. You don't get to. It's not best 3 out of 5. It's not best 4 out of 7. It's one game. So that's why you cannot set this up that way. You have to have a division winner has to have a home game. It's just how it is.
Marcus, what does that mean, Marcus?
That's a salute, a pound, and a 100.
Okay. Thank you.
You can't see that?
Oh,
It was small. It was.
But
All right. So let's move on. Let's get it. Just end our hot topics. We're gonna move on to the games of last week. The first game we have on tap is the Seattle Seahawks, the 9-7 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 4-12 Chicago Bears. This game was Seattle
was
won
the
it
worst.
6-3.
boring as hell. We ain't got to spend a lot of time on it.
This game, man, Rick Willen, late interception, winning for Seattle, beat a struggling Bears team. We knew it. To keep the Seattle playoffs hopes alive. I had Seattle in this game. Everybody else?
Seattle.
Seattle.
We all
Seattle.
have
Yeah,
Seattle.
okay. There ain't much to say, but do you want me to read the stats on this game?
Nah.
Yeah, just read them. Yes, read them real quick.
Yeah, you can read them because we always read them.
Geno Smith, 17 for 23, 160 yards. Zach Charbonnet, 15 carries, 57 yards. You have Noah Fant, 4 catches for 43 yards for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams, 16 for 28, 122 yards. DeAndre Swift, 12 carries, 53 yards. And you had DJ Moore, 6 catches for 54 yards. Yeah, this game, we were doing a show last week in this game, and didn't seem like we missed too much of nothing on it. Huh?
Nope, not at all.
All right, the next game we have is the San Diego Chargers. I'm sorry, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm still stuck with the LA thing, taking on the New England Patriots. And this was another blowout game. The Chargers won it 40-7. The stats in this particular game, we had Justin Herbert, 26 for 38, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins, 19 carries for 76 yards, 1 touchdown. And you had Lad McConkey, 8 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. For New England, Drake May, 12 for 22, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing, you had Antonio Gibson, 12 carries for 63 yards. Leading receiver, you had Douglas for 4 catches for 46 yards. Demario Douglas. I'll let you go first, Brian. Who'd you have in this game?
In this game, I did have the Chargers. The Patriots put up a little bit of a fight early in this game, but it became apparent that the Chargers were going to take over. They did a good job, ran the ball, passed it well, picked the Chargers.
Marcus?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I also picked the Chargers. They didn't do much. They scored 1 time in the second quarter, and that was it. Got blown out the other 3 quarters. Obviously, an outmatched team. Very easy pick. Pick the Chargers.
I took the Chargers on this one also, man. Jim Harbaugh came off of getting back to the NFL after giving Michigan their championship. Now, taking the unachieving Chargers possibly to the playoffs. That's a good thing. They still need to win out so they can get the 5th seed. But I took the Chargers on this one and won it. Herman?
Yeah, I had the Chargers on this one too. This is pretty lopsided. Patriots couldn't, their third down efficiency, they were like 2 for 10 third downs, and time of possession was ridiculously. The Chargers basically doubled their time of possession. Harbaugh's got the Chargers playing, and he's got Herbert looking good. And just think this is just the first year, so they're only going to get better. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I wouldn't want to play them necessarily if I was in the playoffs. I wouldn't want to be that division winner who has to take on the Chargers. But I picked the Chargers. Got this one right. It's going to be interesting if they do get in the playoffs.
All right, keep it moving to the next game we have. This one went to overtime. You had the Denver Broncos taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals won it 30-24 in overtime. Stats for this one: the Broncos, Bo Nix, aka Callahan, 24 for 31, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns. You had McConklin, 10 carries for 69 yards. You had Marvin Mims, wide receiver, 8 catches for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, 39 for 49, 412 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chase Brown, 20 catches, 67 yards. And then you had T. Higgins, 11 catches for 131 yards and 3 touchdowns. Herman, I'll let you go first. Who did you have in this one?
I picked the Bengals in this one. This was a good game. I can't remember. I think this was the one where I feel like it was some bad clock management in this game that wound up making this go to overtime. Okay, so this was the game. I think the Broncos had 1 timeout left. They made a completion, and for some odd reason, they did not call that timeout, and the clock just tick, 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 tick down. And I'm sitting there yelling, "Call a timeout! Call a timeout! What are you holding it for?" And sure enough, game wound up going into overtime, and the Bengals pulled this one out. Joe Burrow, you're my MVP. I don't care what they're saying about anybody else. Joe Burrow He won me my fantasy league this year. I came in first place in one league, and I was third in the other league. So Joe Burrow, thank you. You're him and Jamar Chase. But I picked the Bengals, and I got this one right.
Yeah, Herman, I was with you too, man. Burrows put the cape on and saved Cincinnati. That's for sure. Did you talk about the clock management? I truly believe they mismanaged that, because that long field goal for them to win the game at the end of at the time, assuming, could have been shortened if he'd have called a timeout and got a play in there enough time. So yes, that clock management for Denver, I think, cost him this game. To be honest with you, it shouldn't have went to overtime. They should have had enough time on the clock, get him in field goal range, kick the winning field goal, and been a walk off.
And that was Sean Payton. That was Sean Payton. He was supposed to be one of these great coaches. He blew that. He blew that.
He did. But yeah, I took the Bengals in this one, and they won it. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I was with you guys. I was also with the Bengals, and I mean, like Herman said, man, Joe Burrow is phenomenal. I mean, there was like I think he had like 48 touchdowns and like 8 interceptions this year.
Yeah,
like over 4,000 yards. It's just ridiculous. He is the Cincinnati Bengals. Between him and T. Higgins, even Jamar Chase. I mean, there was a prognosticator saying don't start T. Higgins in this game because of something, and T. Higgins just went off. Just went. Oh yeah, it was hurt.
Yeah,
and he just went off. I mean, every time you turn around, he was throwing to T. Higgins. T. Higgins was in the daggone end zone. Yeah. So the Bengals are forced. Y'all mess around, and let them fools in the playoffs. Okay.
I would not want to see the Bengals for real.
Marcus.
I also picked Cincinnati. Same reason you guys are saying Joe Burrow. He's doing it. He's lighting them up. Very good game. Like Herman said, poor clock management. Is like, you're right. Nobody wants to see the Bengals in the playoffs. They're very scary as long as Joe Burrow is there. But I think they make it. That's why I picked them making it. But yeah, I picked the Bengals and I was right.
All right. Next game we go into is the 9-7, the 7-9 Cardinals taking on the LA Rams 10-6. This game, the Rams won it 13-9. Kyler Murray, 33 for 48, 321 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Michael Carter, 13 carries for 70 yards. Trey McBride, 12 receptions for 126 yards, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Rams, you had Matt Stafford, 17 for 32, 189 yards. Kyron Williams, 13 carries, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. You had Puka Nacua, 10 catches for 129 yards, 0 touchdown. On this one, I took the Rams on this one. The Rams defense had to come to play on this particular game. Think about it. The Rams struggled in the first half, but they finally came alive the second half on it. But Cardinals are just I don't know if the Cardinals just played that bad or the Rams defense played that good. Cardinals are hard team.
You know exactly what happened.
Call of Duty came out. He was playing Call of Duty.
Something. Because he got that joint for Christmas, probably.
But I took the Rams. The Rams got it. Marcus, who did you have?
He also took the Rams. This is actually a pretty boring game also. It was just too many mistakes by the Cardinals. And the Rams defense stepped up. Cardinals are 1-4 in red zone. And those 2 turnovers by Kyler Murray cost them. So yeah, I picked the Rams and I was right.
Herman.
Yeah, I also went with the Rams. I was with you guys on this one. I just feel like the Rams are the hotter team right now. It's like Arizona peaked and they're crashing now. They peaked too early in the season and they're crashing. And the Rams, I can't remember, but the Rams consider that they're 10-6 right now. They started off bad, at first. So
and they still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, well, no, they're winning their division.
No, they won the division.
Yeah, they won their division, right?
Yeah, they won it.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs, not the hunt. They're in. Yeah, so this game was kind of not a lot to report on it, but yep, I picked the Rams. I got this one right.
Brian.
Yeah, we were all in accord with this one. And again, Call of Duty, man. If you look at the stats, as soon as Call of Duty comes out, Kyler Murray's stats go down. So either take his PlayStation away or Get a new quarterback, one of the two, or have two quarterbacks, one before Call of Duty comes out, one after Call of Duty comes out.
All right, moving on to the next game. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Washington Commanders. The Commanders won it in overtime, 30-24. Battle of the two young rookie quarterbacks. Michael Penix, 19 for 35, 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bijan Robinson, 17 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. You had Drake London, 7 catches, 106 yards, 0 touchdowns. For the Commanders, Jalen Daniels, 24 for 36, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing, Jaden Daniels, 16 carries, 127 yards. Receiving, you had Zacchaeus, 8 catches, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Brian, I'll let you go first. Who did you have in this game?
In this game, I had the Falcons. You got to give credit to Jaden Daniels. That joker gets on my last nerve. I mean, he just made play after play after play in this game. Penix did well. Penix did well for his second outing out. The Falcons came out strong. I thought they were going to win this game, but you just can't keep Washington down, man. Anytime it was 4th down, that joker would scramble a little way and get the first down to get out of bounds, man. He's nerve-wracking, but I picked the Falcons. I picked it.
Herman?
Yeah, I was with Brian. I picked the Falcons on this one too. And this one was another one with bad clock management. It was almost the exact same situation as the damn Broncos game. It literally almost the exact same thing. And I was just like, I don't understand these coaches that I get they want to hold on to that one timeout. But when you're under a minute or right at that minute mark and you make a long play down the field, you have to call that timeout. Because by the time you get set back up, you probably ran 30 seconds off that clock. And 20-something seconds is not enough at that point. What's the point of you having the timeout at that point? Yeah. So, again, clock management. Like Brian said, Jaden Daniels, he's so cool under pressure. And he does. Every time they need him to, he makes a play. Whether it's with his feet or with his arms, and right now he looks like a rookie sensation. He really does. I think I've seen this movie before though, but I picked the Falcons.
Hey Herman, you didn't happen to see that meme where the guy was pretending to be the Falcons head coach and he was trying to sell his timeouts? And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I heard this is worth money. That's why I was trading it. Like they only worth money in the game. They ain't worth nothing now.
Hey, in this game, man, I took the Commanders too. The second half, Jaden Daniels put on the running shoes, and their offense came alive for the Commanders. But I do got to tip my hat to Michael Penix for his second game. That boy did look sharp for his second game he started in. But these two young quarterbacks were battling. This was a good game, but the Commanders came out with the victory, and I chose the Commanders. Marcus?
Yeah, I also picked the Commanders. I think this is the best game on our list, not just because of my team playing, but it was a very good game. I got to agree with Herman. I don't know what Raheem Morris is doing. At the end of both halves, he just it's like I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And then kicking, having good kicker counts. It definitely counts.
Don't it?
They should have won that game. The fact that they missed that kick, the football gods are just favoring my team right now. They're looking down and smiling.
Yeah, I heard you scream from all the way over here when they missed the kick. I heard you.
Oh no, I wasn't watching it.
Yeah, he wasn't watching.
I wait till after. I watch. But I'm actually giving this a shot in the playoff. I think we might play the Rams. I'm giving this a shot. I'm very proud of the team. And I give much props to Michael Penix. Everybody know I was very high on Michael Penix coming out, and he looked good. And I'm wishing him much success. Just not against us, but.
Hey, look. So we'll change up the rules now that you accumulate timeouts each game.
Yeah, they need to.
Like, you get timeouts, you get like 8 timeouts the next game.
Yeah. You can take them into the playoffs. You can
Yeah,
take
you
them
can
into
take
the
them into the
Act,
playoffs.
man.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just hold
that's
them
how some of these
timeouts.
coaches act, man. It's
and you can
crazy.
use them for red flags and all that stuff.
Hey, but look, when was the last time you saw a kick fall short? It was right on line and
Yeah.
fall short in a dome.
Yeah,
Like, that wasn't his range. Like, coach, that wasn't
That
his
wasn't
range.
That was here. What?
Oh no, that wasn't Washington. You're right. My bad. That wasn't Washington. But that ball was straight on line. Just
It certainly looked like it went in. Like,
It just wasn't long enough.
yeah. So that but yeah, some timeouts, man. I don't understand it.
I don't understand either. Like,
I
why?
don't understand it.
You can't take them with you. Might as
Then
well.
you got some coaches that act like they burning holes in their pockets and they got to get rid of them as soon as they can. Like,
you know, the dumbest play.
right. Time.
All right, so we're gonna get the last game out the way. You got the Detroit Lions taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Detroit won it 40-34. Stats in this one, you had Jared Goff, 26 for 34, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 18 carries, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameson Williams, 5 catches, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. For San Francisco, had Brock Purdy, 27 for 35, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. Eugenio, 9 carries for 34 yards, no touchdowns. And you had Ricky Pearsall, 8 catches for 141 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a come-out game on this one.
Ain't he the one that got shot?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Brian, who'd you have in this one?
In this one, I did pick the Lions, but I mean, I got to give the Niners credit. I mean, to have nothing to play for and to play that hard and to take the lead at halftime, they were trying to spoil the Lions' fun. They definitely wanted the Lions to have to play Minnesota or have Minnesota win that division because of last year. But the Lions are a force to be reckoned with. I mean, from the trick plays to the just straight running game that they had against the Niners. I mean, you really got to give them their due. They play well. They're a well-coached team, and they're a force to be reckoned with. I picked the Lions. I picked it right.
Herman?
Yeah, I picked the Lions in this one too. Yeah, the Lions are a force to be reckoned with, but I worry about the Lions because of their defense. You know, their defense is still giving up a lot of points, and I know they got a lot of people injured, but their offense can keep up. That's the thing. But we know when we get into these playoff games, sometimes it seems like the level of the defenses always rise. I'm not even gonna say let's just hope, but I guess we're gonna see what Dan Campbell and his coaching does in this year's playoffs, because last year he burned
You
himself.
are a hater.
Why is that a hater? When he burned himself, last year. He even said it himself. He regrets. You know, so we're gonna see, because it's some pretty good coaches in the playoffs this year. It's not just your teams. It's some good coaches. So we shall see.
All right, in this game, I took the Lions also. The Lions came out rolling the second half. This is the most wins in franchise single season history. They were 5 of 5 in red zone. With them having the issues on defense, they had to come out and score points, and they did. But I took the Lions on this one, and they were successful on it. Marcus, who'd you have?
So of course I also took the Lions. The Lions. I've been drinking the blue Kool-Aid all season, but I have to admit, and I'm going to disagree with Brian a little bit. He said the 49ers came out to try to sport a season. The way the Lions defense played, I don't think they didn't really have a say of what the 49ers offense did. They pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. I'm a little bit worried. If I was a Detroit fan, I'd be a little bit wavering in my excitement about these playoffs. They have to score 40 points to stay in these games. They have to have their defense is terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm rooting for them and all, but I'm like I said, I'm starting to waver a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's gonna last all the way to the Super Bowl.
Hey,
they're
Herman,
supposed to get back.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Real quick, they're supposed to get back Alex, their linebacker.
Hutchinson?
No, not
No.
Hutchinson. Alex, I forget what his last name is, but He broke his forearm.
Azaloni.
Azaloni. Yeah, they're supposed to get him back. Well, he was limited practice this week, so he should definitely be back for the playoffs. What you saying, Brian?
Was your butt cheeks puckering a little bit as they was throwing them dimes down there, trying to get into that fantasy score of yours?
A little bit. I was like, "Oh, come on now, man!" You know,
I had to go look. I said, "Damn, is Maury close?"
He closed it up a little bit.
He closed it up a little bit, but it was hard to beat 75 points from your quarterback.
Who did he have? He had Golf.
Yeah, he had Golf.
And I had Burrow and Chase, but you know, I lost like Ford got hurt. I lost a couple players that got hurt in the middle of the games, so they didn't get nowhere near their projections. So I thought he was going to catch up. I did.
Yeah.
All right. What you guys do this week?
I went 6-0.
I went 5-1.
First time all season.
6-0.
No L's. You went 6-0 too?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all picked the
Because
same.
you two, yeah,
'Cause
we
he
all
bailed
picked the
you
same
out.
game. Only game we split was the Cardinal, was the Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So all you did was follow the leader, Marcus. Except for
Whatever. I ain't following nothing.
He did whatever Marcus. He did whatever Mark said.
Yeah, pretty basic.
I'm not gonna let you know, Wolf. I'm gonna pick the same.
All right. This is the last week of the NFL schedule. Can you all believe this? We're going to get into the last week games, and then this will be it. The first game we're going to talk about is going to be the 8-8 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 10-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. Playoffs and division is on the line. It's a big one. Herman, who'd you got in this game?
Well, I told y'all earlier a couple weeks ago, I'm not picking them Bamas no more. So give me the Bengals.
Brian?
Yeah, I agree with Herman, man. The Bengals are the hotter team right now. The Steelers on what, a 2 or 3 game losing streak?
Three-game losing streak.
3-game losing streak.
Make it 4. Give me the Bengals.
Marcus?
Sorry, Mark, but you got a lone wolf this one. I'm had to go with the Bengals too. I had to go with they're hot right now. I'm thinking they're gonna make the playoffs, and I think the Steelers are gonna go 0-4 for the last 4 games. But this was actually predicted. Everybody was saying at the beginning of the season that the Steelers last month was gonna be very difficult, so it shouldn't be a surprise. So
Yeah.
I'm picking the Bengals.
Yeah, it pains me to say this. I'm not long wolfing. I'm
What?
going along with this too. I'm taking the Bengals. I don't like the way the Steelers been playing the last couple of weeks, and Cincinnati is hot. They are hot. I'm taking the Bengals in this one also, fellas.
Proud of you for keeping it real, Mark. Good job. I wouldn't have picked them Bamas either.
Going on to the next game, we got the 3-13 Cincinnati Cleveland Browns taking on the 11-5 Ravens.
Hey,
This
Mark.
game,
Mark,
yeah.
the Ravens are giving up 18.5 in this game.
Grief.
18.5.
This game is important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ravens need to win this to take the division.
I was thinking I wouldn't even play it if I was, but I guess they need this game. Okay.
Yeah, they do. They need it for the division. Herman, who you taking?
I'm going with the purple. Give me the Ravens. I don't think the Browns can. Nah.
Not. Ravens here. I'm taking the Ravens. Brian,
Ravens.
Marcus.
There's no way the Browns are going to play spoiler. It's going to be the Ravens.
Next game we have is the 9-7 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 10-6 LA Rams.
Mark, the Rams are giving up 6. The Seahawks are giving up 6.5.
I'm going to take the Rams in this
Wait,
one.
what?
The Seahawks are giving up 6.5.
Stafford's not playing.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
not?
No, Stafford's not playing.
Oh, never mind. Take it back. Give me Seahawks.
I lied. The Rams are giving up 2.5.
I was going to say.
I don't think Stafford's playing. Though. Let me check. I could have swore McVay said Stafford wasn't playing.
Oh, yeah, because they already wrapped up and they can't get any higher seed.
Yeah, they can't. Yep, they're resting him.
Okay, yeah. Give me Seahawks.
Garoppolo's going to start.
Who?
Marcus, who you got?
Garoppolo's going to start. Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks only because Rams will have nothing to play for. They can't improve their spot. They're resting Stafford, so I'm taking the Seahawks.
Herman.
Give me the Rams. I don't. The Seahawks. They've been bad, and they're on the road. The Seahawks are out, right? They're eliminated, correct?
Mhm, they're eliminated.
Yeah, they're
When
eliminated.
Washington won,
Yeah.
they got eliminated.
Give me the Rams.
And Brian.
I'm with you, Herman. I don't like the Seahawks. I don't like the way they play. I'm going with the Rams too.
All right. Next game, we got the 15-1 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 9-7 Denver Broncos. Broncos will have to win this game in order to make it in the playoffs. Kansas City are probably not going to be starting the starters.
They're not.
Herman, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with the Broncos then, because if we know that they're definitely not starting their starters. Give me the Broncos.
I think I'm gonna ride with the Broncos in this one. They come to play Kansas City each and every time. They would love to beat them regardless if it's without Mahomes, with Mahomes, without him. I'm taking the Broncos too. Brian?
Yeah, Vegas agrees with you guys because Denver has given up 8 in this game. I also don't think that the backups for the Kansas City can beat the starters for the Broncos. Give me the Broncos.
And Marcus.
Unfortunately, this week I'm pulling Nick Wright, and I believe the backup for the Chiefs can beat the Broncos. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Wow.
You'll be wearing a hat next week. Next game we got is the Miami Dolphins, 8-8, taking on the 4-12 Jets. Brian, who you got in this one?
Man, this is a game of the bad and the batter, but I think the Dolphins are the better of the batter. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. And just real quick, the spread on this game is the Dolphins giving up 2.5.
Marcus?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Dolphins. The Jets are done for. Devontae and Aaron are out next season. They got nothing to play for. Neither do the Dolphins, really, but they're a better team.
The Dolphins are still in the hunt.
Oh, Dolphins still in the hunt?
Yeah.
Oh,
They actually still have something to play for. Yeah.
I'm picking the Dolphins.
I mean, they need stuff to go
They
their
need
way,
help,
but they still have a chance.
yeah.
Herman?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Dolphins on this one. The Jets have just been the biggest disappointment ever, it seems like. Give me the Dolphins.
Have they though? I've been saying from the beginning they were going to be crap. They've
They've been the big disappointment.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, fellas. Give me the Dolphins. I'm not taking the Jets. They bottom sellers. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Last game we have. This is the pre-playoff game starter. You got the Minnesota Vikings 14-2 taking on the Detroit Lions 14-2. This is for the division championship. All the money's on the table. Let's go. Let's get it on.
And the number one seed.
The number one seed.
And the number one seed.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
You get a bye after this game. Hey, real quick, the Lions are giving up 3 in this game.
Marcus, I'll let you start this
home field spread.
Who you got?
I'm drinking the Blue Kool-Aid, even though everything I just said about their defense. I'm going to go ahead and ride it out. I'm going with the Lions.
Herman?
I've been telling y'all all season. MVP candidate Sam
Well,
Darnold.
not all season. About week 5 or 6, you switched over. Don't say all
All
season.
season, baby.
Ain't all season.
No. You was dogging us at first.
Okay, after 3 weeks. I think
Yeah, it was about 6 weeks, sir. It was one of
For like 3 or 4 weeks.
About 6 weeks.
Anyway, give me the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins.
No.
Give me the Vikings. Vikings are gonna win this one. They're gonna get the home field. The Lions are gonna get bumped in the first round of the playoffs after a 14-3 season.
So, Marcus, I think we both have to stick to our true prediction of the season so far. And it's been the Lions making it. I'm still rolling with the Lions. Give me the Lions on this one. And Brian, who you got?
Herman, you are not lone wolfing on this one, sir. I agree with you and Sam Darnold. I also agree with the Vikings defense over the Lions defense all day and twice on Sunday night.
Yes,
Give
sir.
me the Vikings.
You know, Mark, they want to keep saying I do everything you do to keep him lone wolf. And it's looking like Brian's doing everything Herman do to keep him from lone wolf. And that's what I feel like.
That's good picks. That's just good picks.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
And Herman saves me too.
All right, so
Mark just don't care about you, Marcus. He'll let you wear that hat.
no, that's not true. I've saved him a couple of times. Hey, look at the time there, fellas. We did pretty good there.
Oh man. I thought we was gonna be over. Them hot topics were pretty hot. So
Right.
So this is the getting to the
Keeping you
final.
up, Herman?
Yeah. Right. I don't know why I keep yawning.
He's ready to end the show.
Because of that boring story, Marcus.
Right. Like he set the show off. The rest of the show was like,
Yeah, y'all some haters. That was a decent story. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Not to mention, I'm the one to put the hot topics in the hot topics. Okay.
Yeah. You probably should
you
have
did good on the
updated
hot
it when
topics.
you found out that Saquon wasn't starting. You probably should have changed it, but I ain't gonna say that.
Like, we're still about the conversation. Should he?
It was still good. It was good.
Yeah,
Marcus,
yeah.
you did a good job. Don't worry about
Thank
it.
you, sir. Thank you.
You welcome. All right, so now we're going to end the show with our final thoughts. Kind of have to go to a little somber and sad note here. Prayers go out to the family and the loved ones of the New Orleans attack this morning. It's a sad way to start off the year. Prayers and thoughts go out to all the family members and everybody involved. That's my final thought. Brian, you have one?
Yeah, again, what you said, Marcus, and then in addition to that, it's a sad moment for a lot of NFL teams, players, and coaches who are not going to the playoffs, and this is the last time you get to see your team until the next year. If you're a fan of Delay a Game, you know how I feel about y'all. You go watch the meme again, but it's going to be a sad day to have to wait until August to see my squad play again. So.
I don't think it's that sad for them. They probably already in the Bahamas or Mexico.
Oh yeah, no, not yet. You're right.
Herman.
Their trailers packed.
Herman, any final thoughts?
yeah, I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. Made it through 2024. Long year, eventful year. Always enjoy doing the show with you guys and look forward to doing more and increasing our show presence. But just happy new year. And also piggyback off of what you said, Mark, thoughts and prayers for the people affected by that tragedy in New Orleans.
Marcus?
Yeah, also just want to piggyback on what you said, Mark, about the New Orleans tragedy. Prayers go out to all of them. Also just want to wish everyone a happy new year going into 2025. When we start the show around late August next season, it will be our, I believe, 7th season. We've been doing this since 2018, so 7 years, and quite a few shows down. And I believe next season, if my math is right, we might hit the 200 mark.
200, yeah, 200 more. I thought about that.
At some point next season.
Oh, we're getting drunk again on the show.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we fly to Texas. We'll
Yeah,
get
Herman's Mansion in Texas.
That's what that is.
And have the show. That's
Texas.
exactly what we do. So stop playing now. We coming to
Marcus,
Texas for the
Marcus, we're gonna do it RNS style.
Whatever.
put out
Come
a
on
South
out.
Park in Dallas.
We have some barbecue on the show and everything.
That's not a bad idea.
We can do it at Michael Irvin's bar.
We could.
All right, Marcus, take us out of here, please.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, Delay of Game, on Twitter /X at Delay of Game 3, and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. You can also catch us broadcasting simultaneously on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. So go on over there and check them out. That's the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.